Good morning and a very warm welcome to Dilip Oak Academy's first undergraduate seminar. On the stage we have Mr. Dilip Oak, our founder and director, and also with us are Melody Stapleton, Dean of the College of Computer Science and Construction Management in California State University, Chico. You've just seen a video of that university played. Dr. Stapleton has served as Dean for the College of Computer Science and Construction Management since fall 2018. And this is after holding the Associate Dean role, where she spearheaded a college-wide laboratory spaces upgrade initiative. As Dean, she worked to obtain a $1 million grant from Omron Corporation, which is the third largest robotics and automation corporation in the world. And the purpose of this was to build a state-of-the-art robotics laboratory to be completed this year. Accompanying her from Chico is the Associate Dean, Seema Sherawat, and we're pleased to have both of you here today. She's a doctor, and she has a background in information technology, accounting, and also construction management. And she's also secured $2 million in grants and a separate endowment of $850,000 for the School of Social Work's DL Distributed Learning Program. Also on the dais with us today is Maggie Woolford, who is an international graduate recruiter with about a decade of experience. She's an old friend of Dilip Oak's Academy, and this is her 5th trip to India. It's a pleasure to have you all with us, and we hope that you will enjoy being with us.
In the past few years, we have seen an increasing trend amongst Indian parents to send their children to America for a bachelor's degree. Because when I started this organization in 1996, nobody was going to America, neither for bachelor's nor for master's. But then I could see the definite future for master's students in America because IT industry was in boom. And Indians have a gifted IT brain. So therefore they had a lot of demand in the United States of America. So I started this institute on a very small scale. People laughed at me, said, what nonsense you are doing, because I'm a chartered accountant. I was working in a good company. But then it picked up in 4 years' time. And till date, in last 22 years, I could manage to send about 30,000 students to America for master's course. So this is the single largest institute in India with a good success. So now I can see a very bright future for undergraduates. So therefore we are starting this new division, and today is the first program of undergraduate education. There are two reasons I said. Number one, parents are now aware of the advantages of giving international exposure to their students. And they have money because there are a lot of parents have their businesses or professions, especially IT professions. So they have funds to support their children. They have funds to spend for their education. I won't say spend because they don't spend money. They are investing money in the career of their children. And why I'm saying investing, because when you invest, you definitely have return on investment. So the students who go to America for bachelor's, they definitely learn much more than what they can do in the home country. And in the long run, that will help their career. So that is the reason that those who can afford to spend about 60, 70 lakhs for 4 years degree, they have started sending their children to America. Number two, children are also very smart now. They have a lot of exposure through internet and through WhatsApp. So they are aware of what is happening in the world. So gone are those days when parents were afraid to send their child 15,000 miles away, because the means of communications are so nice that even if he's in America, he is in touch with their parents all the time. Next is the tough competition in India now. Because if you want to get into IIT, NIT, BITS, Pilani, BITS, of course they have 2 or 3 different campuses, then you really have to slog for 2 years. I can see many children whom I know in 11th and 12th, they literally study for 10 hours, 12 hours a day. They just forget everything else in their life. And after all this, hardly 2% students get admission. And the rest, 98% are frustrated. Because in spite of putting in so many efforts, they finally end up getting nothing. And out of those 98%, there are some intelligent and above average students who really deserve to get into these institutes in India, just miss it by a few marks because it's a very tough race. So what is the option for them? The option for these students is to go to America for a bachelor's degree. So if you score about 1350 or 1400 plus in SAT, and if you maintain very good academic record in 10th, 11th, and if possible in 12th, if available of course, then you can get tuition scholarship from a reasonably good tier 2 university. And when you get tuition scholarship, the entire education for 4 years is manageable within, say, maximum 20 to 25 lakhs. We, in fact, are starting our SAT classes this year because for you have to give SAT and TOEFL 2 examinations. I'm going to discuss that later, of course. TOEFL classes we already have. SAT classes we are starting, the weekend batches we are starting on 13th of July. The Saturday batch will be in the morning at 7:30 and it will end at 10:45. And the same batch will continue on Sunday morning from 7:30 to 9. If you want to book your seat in advance after the function gets over, you can meet our counselor sitting outside on the podium, outside on the front desk, and book your seat for SAT program by just paying 1,000 rupees.
We do have 4-year undergraduate degree programs, many programs in our college. The first 2 years you focus on what's called your general education, which is things like history, English, there's science in general education. You can choose biology, chemistry. There's lots of mathematics if you're going to go into one of the fields in our college of engineering. There's required 2 years of calculus, and much of the calculus counts as general education. So the idea of general education is to make you a very well-rounded citizen of the world, and so it's very much emphasized in our university. When you get there, we recommend, if you're going to come into these STEM fields, which we're very hopeful you do, you meet with your major advisor. If you're majoring in mechanical engineering, go see a mechanical engineering professor. You will be assigned one right from the start. That will be your advisor throughout, and they will give you lots of helpful information. So exactly, since they're very packed majors, very packed with a lot of technical classes, it's very important that you start early on taking those technical classes. General advisors will not necessarily know all the different technical fields, and so meet with your own specific advisor, be that computer science or engineering. And also, general academic advising is very, very helpful. They are paid advisors that work for all majors. We actually have in our College of Engineering what we call a Student Success Center that has professional advising for all of our technical majors. So students really love to be able to have all this help, and we really encourage you to take advantage of that. Also, we want you to definitely engage in campus life. I have been teaching at Chico State. Next year will be my 39th year. I came when I was a wee little lass of 28. To campus life, we've been having Indian students come to our college, specifically in computer science, for years and years, for decades. And there are so many of them that have been so successful. Many have started their own companies. They're chief information officers, chief technology officers. Some are even CEOs of corporations. As Mr. Dilipok said, 95% stay in America. I wasn't really even aware of that number. I would have guessed 70, 75. But our Indian students are a very close-knit community. I've loved teaching Indian students from the beginning, from the first time I met any of them. I taught database systems, and for some reason, Indian students love databases. They love data, and they love databases. So they took all my classes. They were amazing and excellent. I'm very close to my students, and we go and see them in the Bay Area, and also just know that you will have a very welcoming environment and professors that just think the world of you.
Small teaching universities that are public, they really feel like private universities in the United States. The culture is very personable. We as instructors, we really know our students very well. Also, the focus of undergraduate education, mostly at the teaching universities, is very applied. It's very hands-on. And when you go for your undergraduate degree, you are really not going there to become a research expert in that field. You are going there to really learn and hands-on and have that applied knowledge of your field so you can go find a job. And teaching universities usually are very applied, and they prepare you for hitting the ground running as you graduate. When we talk about on-campus employment, and Mr. Oak wanted us to elaborate more on it when we were going to present, if you are a parent who thinks you have the 90 lakh rupees and you can afford your kid's education, then you might think, why does my kid want to work? Why should they have an on-campus employment? On-campus employment are not just for you to earn money, they teach you way more. When employers hire you, they see that you have done something. Even if you worked in dining services, you may have to go to work at 5:30 in the morning and wash dishes. How many of you, the kids, I'm not talking about the parents, wash dishes at your house? Some, right? Usually when you will get there, almost all of you are going to wash your own dishes. So it's important that work ethic, that discipline is very, very important. We as Americans really value work ethic, discipline, being on time, and these on-campus jobs, even if your parents have the money to afford your living, to afford your education, you should really pursue on-campus job. If you feel that your parents don't have the money and you are taking a loan and then you have $36,000 on top for living expenses, these on-campus jobs really will help you cover that $36,000 while you are there. So you could easily earn, while working on campus, your living expenses. So that's very important for you to take in mind. Also, when you're doing an on-campus job, you learn the American way. They say an Indian in America is very successful if they know how to walk on both sides of the street. I can be an Indian, right? सब मालूम है कि यहाँ पे कैसे करते हैं और क्या rule follow करते हैं, नहीं करते हैं, and then we can switch very quickly, become an American and follow the rules and really live that honest life.
Good morning. In the interest of time, I'm going to be very brief and just say you all have received wonderful advice from Mr. Dilipok and also from my esteemed colleagues from California State University at Chico. And so I will just reinforce some of what they said about it is good to be proactive, but also to let you know, America, we're the country of the Statue of Liberty. It's in New York. We are very proud of it. And we want you to know that we really do welcome you to come, and we welcome your ideas and the time that you will spend, and you will benefit us. Your coming to America is something that can help our country to grow and to develop new ideas. And so we really do welcome you, and I hope that you will take that with a very sincere heart, and please do consider coming. And as was mentioned just a moment ago, do know that there are resources on the campus to help you be settled, to help you succeed upon graduation, and we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Do you really think that you are benefited by going to America to do your undergrad?
Hello. Good morning. Definitely, yes. I mean, that is probably the best decision that I took. My parents allowed me to take that decision. And I feel, I think it starts with parents actually being very supportive of you. I went there in 2007, so at that time probably no one
No one
at
was
that
going
time was going
No,
to
no,
the
very
US
few
for
students used to
undergrad.
go for undergrad, yes.
So, but what they actually, so if I come from a business family, so I was quite sheltered in my lifestyle. I didn't have to go out much. And what my father really said that the day you decide that you want to go to the US, he told me to do everything on my own. All the application, even going to Delhi Pork was my decision. He said, I will monitor what you're doing, but I will not come with you anywhere. I will not come with you for your recommendation letters. And I think that was the first step, because when you go there, you are completely on your own. Your friends are your family. Your family is actually here, probably 2 days away. So that was something which really helped me, prepared me to go to the US. And I thank my parents for that.
Yeah. And did it really help when you came back and joined your business?
Yeah, I think there are two major things, outcomes of US education, undergrad education. One is that you become really confident, because I remember my first semester, I had an entire class on public speaking. I was a very shy student back in India, and we had to give 4 presentations to an American, entire class of American students. So that really helped me, so that I can now talk in front of 2,000, 10,000, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And the other part was the work ethic. Actually, contrary to what you see in the movies where US education is all about partying, actually, it is very much, a lot of it is to do with schooling as well. Because in India, I don't think after 6th grade anyone does homework. But for 4 years in the US, I think you have homework that if it's due on Monday, there's homework due on Wednesday, there's homework due on Friday. So what happens is, and there is almost 20-25% grading for that homework, right? So the work ethic part really gets developed. So if you know basic life skills such as coming on time, like if 10 o'clock is the office time, then you are there at 10 o'clock. If there is a due deadline to be done, that deadline happens. So work ethic is something else that I would say is the outcome of my education there.
Wonderful. Selecting major. In India, we have to select major on day 1. What was your experience in Georgia Tech?
Hi. So selecting major is not a hard process. You can actually go in as an undecided major, and then counselors and advisors help you they guide you through the process of finding out what you want to do. And the system is very flexible, so you can take whatever classes you want. The way it works is that a degree, basically, they have a specific curriculum, and then you have classes that you need to, by classes I mean courses. So classes that you need to take, and then you can choose the order that you can take them in. You can choose the professors depending on which professors are available. And you can also choose the timings as well. So it's easy to, it's a very flexible system, and it's very easy to decide what you want to do.
It was a wonderful morning. I really enjoyed with you. Once again, thanks for coming for the seminar.